Bourbon hunt, not gonna buy it. Does a bear shit in the woods like a cow pissing on a flat rock? It's not a bad price on this Knob Creek 18 year. Can't get a deal like that anywhere. Maybe a little tad under MSRP. Got some of these pentalotes here. We have been boot scooting. Hey y'all, welcome back to Sippin' the South. Today we are here in East Tennessee and we're going to be doing some bourbon hunting, and we're going to hunt from East Tennessee all the way over to West Tennessee. Our first stop is a really unique store called Imbibe. Let's go in here and check it out and see what they got. Got a benchmark full proof here, $23.99. That's supposed to be really good juice. Y'all heard good things about this here Laws bourbon. Now this is a 4-grain, but one of these Laws, this is not this one, but I think it was an 8-year that made Fred Minnick's Top 100 of 2023. So Laws out in Denver, Colorado is doing good stuff. They're distilling and bottling their own stuff out there in Colorado, y'all. Here's a 3-chord single barrel bourbon. Never had the 3-chord before, but again, old Fred Minnick, Top 100 of 2023, had the 3-chord. Goodbye June. I'd like to find a bottle of that old Goodbye June, see what she tastes like. But this here's a single barrel. Imbibe store pick, $49.99. I got some peg leg porker up here. I've never had this, but there's a guy blending this stuff, and I believe the story goes he has a barbecue restaurant up around the Nashville area and decided he wanted to start a whiskey line. And here it is, peg leg porker aged 8 years. Some more Tennessee up here. This is a Franklin Distillery cask strength whiskey distilled in Tennessee. I don't know anything about this. It says 13-year single barrel. That sounds real interesting. If y'all ever had this, let me know in the comments. This says barrel number 7. Looks like it's about 117.6 proof. So it says here, I think I told y'all Franklin, Tennessee. This is Franklin, Kentucky, but it's distilled in Tennessee, so they're sourcing it in Tennessee. Probably George Dickel or Brown-Forman Jack Daniels if I had to guess, but you never know. Could be interesting. I've also heard good things about this Leper's Fork Tennessee whiskey bottled in bond. Y'all, these Leper's Fork folks in Franklin, Tennessee, my understanding is this here is grain to glass. They're growing their own grain. They're in Franklin, Williamson County, Tennessee. They're distilling it and bottling it themselves right there in good old Tennessee. This is supposed to be really good stuff, bottled in bond. We might have to try this one. We got some Detling here, but this is a bottled in bond. I heard the cask strength Detling is supposed to be really good. Y'all let me know if you've had this bottled in bond and if that's good stuff. Drop a comment down below about old Seth Detling stuff. $72.99 on the Detling bottled in bond. It's another bottle I haven't seen before. This is Middle West Spirits Double Cask Collection. This is an Oloroso wheat whiskey, and this is distilled and bottled up in Ohio. Middle West Spirits. They got a Larceny here, y'all. This is a Larceny barrel proof. But y'all, these are the 924 series. And back in 2023, old Fred Minnick and his Top 100, his number 2 and number 3 pick overall out of the Top 100 of 2023 were both Larceny barrel proofs. But they were 923 batches. One of them was C923 and I think another one was A123. Got the Green River full proof here. Hear really good stuff about this. They got it here for $49.99. Wyoming small batch. I've never heard of this. Y'all let me know if there's anything good about this. Small batch bourbon, Wyoming whiskey. 88 proof. Seems a little low on the proof side. Aged 5 years. It says distilled, barreled, and bottled by Wyoming whiskey. So it looks like they're making their own stuff. Interesting. And there's a double cask, 100 proof. $68.99. This here is straight bourbon whiskey finished in sherry cask, y'all. See what's hiding up there behind the counter. Is this allocated stuff, or is this for like members club or anything, or is it just? Yeah, this is the fancy stuff. Like a Willet purple top up there. Is that $239? Is that what I'm seeing? Yeah. Bardstown Amaret up there. Stretching my eyes. Is that $59.99? Or $159. $159.99 on that Bardstown Amaret. They got that Bow Maria up there. And they got the Hard Truth. And then the Castle and Key Wheated. Y'all, they got lots of good stuff to choose from here in Imbibe. However, I'm thinking, since we're in Tennessee, what we might be drinking should be some Tennessee bourbon. We're gonna have to come away with this Leper's Fort bourbon whiskey, bottled in bond, Franklin, Tennessee, y'all. Well, y'all, Imbibe is a really nice store. If y'all passing through Chattanooga, Tennessee, stop in here and give them a look. Well, y'all, we dipped off the interstate here in Tullahoma, Tennessee, and we stumbled across Bill's Liquor Store. His sign out front says Paris got fashion, we got whiskey. We're gonna go in here and see what old Bill's got. Let's check it out. Y'all, they got a Larceny Barrel Proof A124 here. Now, old Fred Minnick at Bourbon and Beyond 2024 picked this as his #1 best in show. Good juice, $69.99 and a great price. Got a 1792 small batch hiding in there. There's a single barrel 1792. That's a good try. $45.99. Got some Yellowstone series stuff up here. $51.49, $56.99. Here's a Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. Let me see what the proof is on that one. 129.6 proof on this single barrel proof. $69.99. We are in Tennessee, the home of Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey. Smoke wagons up there. I don't see the uncut, unfiltered. Knob Creek 9 single barrel reserve, 120 proof, $59.99. That's a solid bottle. You can't beat that one, y'all. $59.99. Yeah, I heard you talking to the other customer about your allocated stuff, and you save that for your locals. You mind if I just look at what you got, the allocated stuff? You mind if we film back there and show the, yeah. There's a Stag hiding in there. That's the Stag before it became Stag Junior. That's one you're hanging on to. Yeah, Henry McKenna 10. There's a Weller 12 in there. Weller Full Proof, a CYPB, an Old Rit 10. George T. Stagg, an Eagle Rare 17. Pappy 23. Yeah, got a Pappy 20. Pappy 15, and a Van Winkle 12. I got lots of good allocated stuff for the local customers. They got a real nice Benchmark display over here, y'all. They got the Benchmark Full Proof, $25.99. That's a real nice display, all Buffalo Trace stuff. That's supposed to be a really good sipper. You got a lot of good stuff in here. I love the store concept you got going here. Yeah, it's got a good feel to it. Yeah. You get a lot of the Jack 10, Jack 12 stuff being right here in Tennessee.
Not as much as they used to see.
Yeah. Jack 10, I think MSRP on that is around 70 or 80 bucks. Yeah. You take $100 for it today.
But not the one over there, because that's the batch from it.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. Well, that's a score, y'all. Jack 10.
Bill's Liquor in Manchester, Tennessee. And I bought
Bill's.
it. There's a long story about why they kept the name. This store opened up in 1967. It was the first liquor store in all.
Yeah, that's right. This is Bill's. Yeah.
So the interstate wasn't complete. So 41 is in front of us, and it goes from Chicago to Miami. Still does, you know. It's a scenic route. But anyways, when they opened up this store, the guy that opened it up his name was Willard Mills, and he had a brother named William. And he was the black sheep of the family. So he didn't want his mom to know that he was opening up a liquor store, so he named it after his brother Bill. That was in 1967. So when my dad got the place, he liked the story and a little history behind it.
Y'all, we pulled off the interstate here in Manchester, Tennessee, ran across this place called Bill's Liquor, ran in here and got to meet a fine gentleman named Bob. And Bob told me that he started here when he was 17 years old. He owns the place and he's now, I'm not gonna say how old you are. Yeah. Bob says he's 50 years old, so he's been running this thing for 30 years, y'all, and he has got a great selection, got good bottles in here at great prices, and he even hooked us up with a bottle of Jack Daniel's 10-year. Appreciate that discount. Well, man, we'll ease out of here and let you get on with your day. It's been nice chatting with you, and we'll appreciate it. Thanks again. Okay. Thank you. Nice meeting you. All right, y'all, that's why they call it bourbon hunting. It's always an adventure, and you never know what you're going to run across. We didn't even plan on stopping here. We ran in this store, Bill's Liquor, and the owner, Bob, couldn't have been nicer. And he hooked us up with that Jack Daniel's 10 for just a few bucks more than MSRP, and you can't get a deal like that anywhere. Hell, we were down in South Florida, and for a Jack 10, they were trying to get $250 for it. And for a Jack 12, they were trying to get $350 American dollars for it. Hell of a deal, hell of a score. Bill's Liquor Store. You gotta check it out. All right, y'all, we're gonna make a quick stop at this place we ran across called Bubbas Liquor. Let's go see what Bubba's got. All right, well, we appreciate it. All right, y'all, well, that was a quick in and out. Nothing real special in there, just average everyday sipper stuff, so we're gonna move on to the next one. Well, y'all, even though they didn't have much in that store, that's why they call it bourbon hunting, not bourbon buying. You don't just walk in every store and buy some bourbon. You're bourbon hunting. You're looking for the select stuff. You're looking for the stuff that fits your palate. You're looking for something unique. You're looking for whatever tickles your fancy or blows your skirt up. You're looking for good sipping whiskey. Y'all, now we're in Middle Tennessee, and we are at Warrior Wine and Spirits, Murfreesboro.
Can help y'all find something?
We're just browsing, always looking for some bourbon whiskey. You got anything interesting, unique?
Usually gets the allocation at the end of the month, so
yeah.
Anything you got last month's already gone.
All gone. Got the Maker's Mark Heart release here.
Current store pick, you can have a sample if you'd like.
Old Ezra 7. $87.79 on the Maker's Heart release 24. Okay.
We'll try a sample of that.
Well, let's look around and see what you got else, and then we may come back to that. Appreciate it. Y'all, they got some dark arts here. I don't know anything about dark arts. I've heard some good stuff. This is a straight bourbon whiskey for $89.99. It says ask to taste. We might have to taste that one while we're here. Got a barrel bourbon batch 34 here. I think 35 is the one that old Fred Minnick said was the bee's knees, and that made his top 100 list. Let me see if there's a 35. Nope, that's a 34. Oh, they got the Fiddler series here. ASW out of Atlanta, Georgia. I heard that the cigar blend of this Fiddler is supposed to be really good. I'd like to see that one. They don't have it here. We'll keep hunting for it. They got a Peerless double oaked here for $98.99. A single barrel proof. Let's see what the proof is on this one. 122.2. $69.99 on that. Y'all, they got a real good selection here. Real nice. Got some new ref stuff, some Starlight. Now this is supposed to be a really good bottle here. This Pursuit United double oaked bourbon. They got it for $73.99. Oh, and looky here, sitting right next door to that Pursuit United is a Buzzard Roost barrel strength straight bourbon whiskey. Now, if y'all don't know the story about Buzzard Roost, as I understand it, a guy named Jason Bronner started the first bourbon bar back in 2005 to use the name bourbon in the bar. Before that, they were all known as whiskey bars. And back in 2005, he started Bourbon Bistro in Louisville, Kentucky. Supposed to be one of the biggest and best bourbon bars in the whole United States, y'all. And as I believe the story goes, old Jason Bronner and his business partner were sitting around one day and they decided that they wanted to come up with their own whiskey line. So they started sourcing 4 to 6 year old juice, and they had some proprietary special oak barrels made just for them, and they started aging their source juice in their own proprietary barrels. Y'all, this is even award-winning bourbon here. This here Buzzard Roost Barrel Strength won a gold medal at the 2024 Ascot Awards, and back in 2022, it won a gold medal at the San Francisco World Spirits. I'm super excited to find this, super excited to try it. I think it's supposed to have an extremely unique profile for bourbon. Supposed to be some hints of vanilla and coconut and even some maraschino cherries like you'd find in an old fashioned, y'all. Super rare and unique, interesting stuff. And they got it sitting on the shelf for $75.99. And I believe that's right at MSRP or maybe even less. But that's a good price on a good, unique bottle.
You gonna buy it?
Am I gonna buy it? Does a bear shit in the woods? I think we're gonna have to take this one home. That sign says you can try the Pursuit United Double Oaked. Have you got that for a sample?
But I think that one got empty. But let me see here.
There was also a Dark Arts straight bourbon, not the rye, but the bourbon.
Dark Arts.
Yeah, do you have that one? The bourbon, not the rye? I think that's it in the red.
Red. Oh, the Pursuit Double Oak. I think I emptied that on Saturday. We didn't have another one open. Let's see, to make this legal, you got your ID?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I do.
Perfect, thanks.
Yeah.
Good find it.
The Dark Arts straight bourbon. It's nice. Well, that's not bad. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I'd like to try that
Did a double?
yeah. Try that double oak. Pursuit United Double Oak. That's real nice. It's nice. We're gonna take this for sure. All right, y'all. Well, we came out with one really good bottle out of Warrior Wine and Spirits, a good store. Well, it is now raining like a cow pissing on a flat rock here in Middle Tennessee, but we are at our next stop, Old Fort Liquors. Let's get in here and check it out. Sitting way down here on the bottom shelf, I got a Lux Row 4 grain. That's super interesting, especially to be sitting down here on the bottom row, $79.99. That's supposed to be a good bottle. They got a Clyde Mays, y'all. Single barrel, straight bourbon whiskey, 105 proof. Larceny Barrel Proof, B524, $64.99. Y'all, that's not a bad price on this Knob Creek 18 years sitting here. I think the MSRP is right around 150 smackers, and they got it for $169.99 sitting on the shelf. Not bad at all. Small Batch Reserve Rebel 110 proof. This is supposed to be a good bottle here too, y'all. Rebel 106 year. They got it at $52.99. Rebel 110 years, what we're really hunting for, and you don't see it just anywhere. But we're gonna keep hunting for it, y'all. Supposed to be some fine sipping in that Rebel 10 year. Green River Full Proof for $50.99. I feel like that other guy had it cheaper than that. Got a Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered. Let's see what batch it is. 193C. Also 193C. Also 193C. $74.99 on Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered. Y'all, they got this Woodinville straight bourbon whiskey finished with applewood staves, 100 proof. Now, old Fred Minnick in his top 100 of 2023 named this stuff here number 25. Never had this applewood finished stuff. We're gonna have to give this a try. $49.99. Seemed like a heck of a deal to me. Oh, it's a little old YouTube channel we got. Go around different places filming bourbon hunting. I like bourbon and it's a hobby, and that's what we're doing. Y'all been awful nice and hospitable in here and got a real nice selection. Well, y'all, we made it out of Old Fort with a bottle of Woodinville finished in applewood stave. Super excited to give it a try. We have been boot scooting all across the great state of Tennessee. Started in East Tennessee, hit Middle Tennessee, and now we are all the way over here in West Tennessee. And we are at Alamo Liquor here in Alamo, Tennessee. Let's go check out this little spot and see what they got. They got lots of Buffalo Trace sitting on the shelf. I was looking at our barrels, but they're all batch 34. Batch 35 is supposed to be the bee's knees. Widow Jane Decadence. 108. How you doing? Good. You don't have a Knob Creek 12 around here, do you? You got the 18. What's your price on the 18? $249. Stag Junior up there as well. What's the price on this one? $249 for the Stag. Got an Antique 107 over there on the other side. Is that a Jack Daniel's Coy Hill right there on the orange label right beside the 12? We'll just take a look. How much is that one? $749 US dollars. How about that Jack 12 sitting right beside it? How much is that? $249. $159 for the Weller Antique 107, and the Weller 12 sitting beside it looks like $249.99. And my eyes aren't that bad. Can I see that Weller Antique 107, please? Good old Weller Antique 107 sitting on the shelf here in Alamo, Tennessee for $159. Here's a 1792 Sweet Wheat for $95.99. Got a couple Frey Ranches hanging out. Got some of these Pentelopes here, toasted. The Architect. We got this here Pentelope Rosé Cast finish. Got a few of the Yellowstones sitting up here. $53.99, $46.99, $53.99. Let's see, is that a Green River Foolproof? What do we got here? That's the regular bourbon for $36.99. And then that's the Green River Wheated for $36.99. But they don't have the Green River Foolproof. Two good prices there. Few of the Rebels, really hard to beat. Really good stuff there. There's a Rebel 100 6-year. No price on it. May have to see what the price is on that one. Based on everything else I'm seeing, it's probably gonna be a little high. Can you tell me the price on this one here, please, ma'am? They got a lot of stuff for a small store.
You said 39.
39. Okey-doke. All right, yeah, we're going to have that. Y'all, they got this Rebel 100 6-year here sitting on the shelf, $39.99. I believe that's at MSRP or maybe a little tad under MSRP. 100 proof 6-year. Best price we've seen on this all day. We're going to have to slide this one up on the counter without a word to say.
$38.52.
$38.52 all in. All right, well, thank you very much. Well, y'all, we just got one hell of a deal on a bottle of Rebel 6-year sitting on the shelf here in Alamo, Tennessee. Had to have it. It's going to be a wrap for this awesome boot scooting bourbon hunt all the way across the great state of Tennessee, y'all. From East Tennessee to West Tennessee. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Thanks for coming along with us. And remember, it's always better to be full of bourbon than full of shit. And we'll see y'all next time on Sippin' the South.